Well, I've been commissioned to make a couple of more tea lights or tea light holders for a customer. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm using a new resin, which is why I'm filming this. We're going to see how it works. It's a little more cost effective than some of the other resins out there. One of the things I really like about it is it's very, very low viscosity, which means it's thin. It's nearly water thin. It's not quite, but it's a long cure. I kept it in the pressure pot for 3 days, and it's still got a little bit of a soft feel to it, softer than some of the other epoxies. So I don't know how well it's going to polish up, but we're going to find out. It looks like it should turn relatively well. I'll tell you what kind it is at the end of the video if it turns out to be worthwhile. If it doesn't, then I'm just not going to mention it. But come along with me and let's see what happens. We'll get over to the 2014 and knock a couple of these out real quick. And I forgot to hit record. Nice little ribbons. They're pretty soft, which leads me to believe this. I don't know. We'll see. It may polish up nicely. It might not. Much softer than most of the other resins I use. This is a casting resin. It's not designed for what I'm using it for, but because of the cost, I wanted to try it. It's so much softer than the other resins. It may polish, it may not. Well, I can't believe how soft this is. You can see I can almost dent it with my fingernail. I don't know if you can see that or not, those marks. But it has, now this feels harder in here than this up here. It has, at the surface, it has a more, now see, this feels a lot harder than that does. It has a, for lack of a better term, it has a tactile feel to it. So, I don't know. But from the looks of this over here, it may polish up quite nice. You're not supposed to have to use, I mean, it's not designed for the pressure pot, even though I did put it under pressure because even though it's got a long cure time, I put it under pressure just to make sure that I didn't have any bubbles. It's nice around, except for the edge. Let's run over. Now we'll flatten this off. Once you get down below the surface, it's harder than I thought. I can still scratch it with my nail, but you can some of the others anyway. All right, let me go get a tea light and measure the hole, and I'll be back. This is a little small, but I want to use it anyway because I want to take it to depth and get rid of the little point from the Forstner bit and make it just big enough using one of my tools so it is not quite as sloppy as the other two that I made. I mean, the other two are fine. It's not that they're not good, because they are. Wow. These are so much softer and more pliable than the regular ribbons. It's crazy. Sorry, didn't mean to knock you all over the place. That should be about right. Maybe a little too big. That's perfect. Oh, it's really soft down in the middle. It will harden up over time. That's about where I want it. The only problem is, I don't know how it's going to sand in there. Out here, it's going to be fine. It's pretty, nonetheless. What kind of shape do I want? Well, unlike some of the other resins I've turned, this stuff gives you so much of a better cut with sharp tools. One huge ribbon here, long ribbon. This is nuts. I get so much better finish. Most resin absolutely loves scrapers. This resin does not. See the kind of finish you get with a scraper? Because this resin's so much softer. I'm rather satisfied with that shape. And we'll start sanding it up, or trying to, see what happens. It does like the cut of the 40/40 grind though. It's soft enough now because of the heat from sanding it, I can actually deform it. It wants to spring back to where it was, but if I pushed hard enough, it would stay there. So, I'm going to let this harden up some more. Well, that one is done, so I'm going to part it off. Now that's not as pretty and shiny as I'm used to getting them. If I don't like this, I'll just remake them. But I think it's going to be okay. Now, the color I used for these was mica powder, so that shouldn't have any effect on the hardness or softness like an alcohol ink or a liquid dye might have. I think it's just the nature of this resin. Flatten the top. And so it's not exactly the same as the other two. I'm going to leave this lip there. A little bit of it, I'm going to soften that just a little. because we don't want a sharp corner. Same with here. Now it's nice and round, and that's a much better finish. Much better finish. So much so that I'm going to go straight to 220.
If you'd like to support the Messy Studio in any way, my Amazon affiliates link is down in the bottom. I already showed you the new link for Starbond. If you use that link and you buy your product, it'll save you 30%. I appreciate your support. I really do. My PayPal donate me link is in the description below. And you can always go to my website right here, acdcreations.com or themessystudio.net, and buy swag, t-shirts, caps, coffee mugs. I've got knit caps on there now, or any of the things that I've turned. Or if you have a special request for a project, email me right here. If you've got questions, same link, and I will try to answer them. Thanks again, I appreciate it.
I've got this piece, I think this is red bud, but it's really pretty. Mark my centers. Oopsie. Probably ought to put my log in here before I move that up, huh? What do you think, folks? Reckon it'd be more beneficial if I put the log on. First thing I want to do is get around. And what better tool to use than my roughy gouge? Boy, I love this rough and gouge. It does a fine job. Alright, see what we got. Let's see what we got. Well, that's an interesting color. So is that. Too bad we're going to... Oh, this is spalted. Nice. Still not quite round. Okay, so what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to take this down smooth. And I get it nice and round and make me a tenon, and I'll chuck this up and we'll start working on this end. This is pretty soft and gnarly down there. Let me go hack some of that off. Get me some good wood for purchase. Okay, got my dovetail. I think that'll be alright. I think it will. Remind me in a few minutes to come back and retighten this, please. Y'all are paying attention, right? I need this end to be nice and flat. And that's flat enough. Now, what size hole do I need to drill? When I measured it, it measured a little smaller, but that's perfect. Okay, switch to a spindle gouge. What kind of shape do I want there? Make me a big bead at the top. And a smaller bead here. Oh, that's pretty. That is pretty. Time to sand. Okay, part it off. There's one. I just gotta epoxy this in and apply the finish. Perfect. Perfect. Okay, I'll come back when I'm finishing it, or when I'm putting some finish on it.
Okay, Pam, here they are. All done. I'm gonna let the lacquer on these cure for another couple of days before I put them in the mail, just to make sure they're nice and dry. So, thank you, I appreciate it very, very much. I hope they like them. So thanks for watching, everybody. I really appreciate it. I'm actually kind of happy with these. Please like, subscribe, share, all that social media stuff. I truly appreciate everybody's support. Thanks again. Remember, live, laugh, and love, and y'all come back.